In this episode, our Ken Fott meets up with longtime friend, X Games gold medalist, and amputee Chris Ridgeway to explore southern Utah. We then head to the Rocky Mountains to test Honda's venerable Transalp adventure motorcycle and then meet up with a crew of Canadians to check out their very unique and extremely modular truck camper. It's all coming up next on Off-Road Travel TV.
Off-Road Travel TV, presented by Progressive. Progressive insures over 8.9 million boats, motorcycles, snowmobiles, and RVs throughout America. By Beta, the official motorcycle of Off-Road Travel TV. By MX and Off-Road Tours, adventure done right. And by Overland Expo, the world's premier event series for adventure travel enthusiasts.
Adventure bikes are one of the fastest growing segments of the motorcycle market, and for good reason. They are designed for both dirt and street use and are capable of covering a lot of ground in a very short time. Our crew recently spent several months testing the machine in Colorado, Utah, and California. We tested it on everything from technical single-track trails to twisty asphalt canyons, and our own Ken Fott and Randy Cummins are here to explain.
I've found myself riding adventure bikes a lot more lately, mainly because I can cover an awful lot more ground than any other off-road motorcycle. Adventure bikes are typically designed for 70 to 80% street use and 20 to 30% off-road riding, so they are the most popular bikes for serious travel. The Transalp is a 755cc liquid-cooled parallel twin four-stroke. This is among the smallest of the machines that fit in the adventure bike category, and some are nearly twice that size. Honda also makes a much larger 1083cc Africa Twin that costs around $17,600, which is a lot more expensive than the Transalp at 10 grand. Both bikes are very popular, but we chose a Transalp because it's over 50 pounds lighter, and we tend to do more aggressive off-road riding when we're playing west of the Rockies. Honda has an incredible reputation for fit and finish, and this bike is no exception. One of the things we like most is Honda's extensive dealer network. It means that you can get parts all around the world in case you do some serious international exploring. This is sometimes more difficult with motorcycle manufacturers that have a smaller dealer network. After all, overnight delivery is not always available everywhere in the world.
My favorite aspect of this bike is its versatility. It's a good probably 70-30 on-off-road machine. Immediately I'd change the handlebars. They're kind of swept back a little bit, so I'd like a little flatter bar. The tank is a little bit wide when you're standing up, so you can't really grip it with your legs. Other than that, the bike feels really great.
Riding this bike on the street, it's incredibly smooth. The motor doesn't have a lot of vibration. It feels really comfortable, and I don't notice the big tank, which is something that I'm kind of critical of on this machine, but street riding, it's really good.
The lower end power on this bike is not great. It needs a little more oomph at the bottom, but I think you can fix that with gearing. Off-idle response on this bike is a little bit slow. Again, you can fix that with gearing. The mid-range power on this bike is probably its best part of the motor characteristic.
The mid-range power is where this bike excels. It really seems to hit hard. It starts to pull strong, and as long as you're in that range above 4,000 RPM, it really becomes manageable. And what I found myself doing is riding a gear lower on the Transalp compared to almost any other bike that I ride in this middleweight adventure bike category. The top end power on the bike is, pretty decent. My particular riding style, I don't like to rev a bike out a whole lot, especially in trails like this. I like to generally stick in the 4,000 to 7,000 RPM range, and I prefer to ride a gear high when possible. I like to conserve gas because in the type of places I go, gas stations are kind of rare. The clutch action and the transmission on this bike are relatively smooth, and that's a standard Honda characteristic. So they did a really good job with that, and that means that you don't have to worry about hitting false neutrals and having a difficult time when you're in challenging terrain.
The transmission ratio on this bike is just about perfect. I never feel like I'm in between gears. This bike handles great on the street and it's predictable on the dirt. It's a little bit soft for the dirt, but I think you're spending most of the time on the street, and just for fire roads, it's perfect.
I thought the transmission ratios on this bike overall were pretty good. I would like to see first and second gear maybe a little bit lower for the off-road. With what we're riding right now in Colorado, it's kind of 50-50 dirt and street. And because of that, there's also a lot of really tight hairpin roads and different things. So I find myself having to use the clutch a little bit more on this bike than I do on other mid-size adventure bikes.
If I could improve one aspect on this bike, I think I'd change the gearing, the handlebars, and the narrower tank.
If I could change one thing on the bike, it'd be the tank. I'd like something that's a little slimmer on it, and that to me can make all the difference in the world. It's not going to blow your mind with impressive race-inspired performance, but that's not what this bike is built for. Instead, it was designed to be a reliable machine that carries a practical price tag, a bike that is great for new riders and one that is built to last. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
We are always looking for innovative products in the off-road category, and that is one of the most fun aspects of our job. Motool's Shine and Go is designed to revive painted finishes and restore plastic colors. Simply wipe it on and wipe it off. Shine and Go comes in a 13-ounce can for about 15 bucks and leaves a thin layer that isn't sticky. You simply spray it on and let it sit a minute, then you wipe it off with a clean, lint-free towel. It's recommended that you don't use this on plastic before applying decals. We suggest that you only use this on bodywork and not on seats, grips, foot pegs, disc brakes, or rims. We got our can from RevZilla.com, which sells a wide variety of accessories for motorcycles, UTVs, and ATVs. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you out on the trail.
We are huge fans of innovation, and one of the most exciting things that we've seen in a while is a truck camper built in Canada. It combines a lot of existing technology to create something special for anyone wanting a small place to hold cargo inside a locked space.
Prior to the Overland Expo, we were able to go camping with the family who owns Far Out Camping Company, and we had this really ideal setting right along a river, absolutely beautiful. We had our trucks, trailers, they had campers and everything else, and it was fun to be able to live with them for a couple days, get to experience what it's like to be able to go through their setup. We had a very primitive camping spot. We did have some fire rings, we had picnic tables. They brought along a bunch of toys, some inflatable boats. Eric loves fly fishing, so he wound up being able to go fly fishing, and otherwise we just enjoyed all the activities.
We designed the Far Out campers initially because we do a lot of dirt biking and dual sporting, and we wanted something where we could get our bikes into a unit without getting on our knees, to be able to walk them straight in, tie them down, and drive off to our riding spot.
The first time I saw this camping setup was about 1.5 years ago, and I fell in love with it immediately. My background is motorcycling, so I always struggle trying to find the perfect vehicle for things. I want to be able to go out there and make sure my items are all secure. I want to be able to be comfortable, and I chase weather, so I chase fun times. So I don't always have to have all the high-end amenities like heat and air conditioning and restrooms. And the fact that modern technology has changed and advanced so much that you can take a setup like this with the aftermarket. You could buy outdoor showers, you can buy portable toilets and different things. You can have privacy, you can have comfort, you can feel clean. So there's really no disadvantage to be able to use this compared to other things. If you wind up taking it seriously, you do your research, you learn about what your real needs are. And there's a big discrepancy between what you have to have and what you want to have. And something like this allows you to be able to go off grid in places that you could never pull a trailer, even small trailers. You can go just phenomenal places and see amazing things.
A feature that impresses people the most is how quick it is to set up. I can do it on my own in under 2 minutes because of the reverse tension struts. It is super easy. And to that point, it's also super quality built. This camper is made out of marine grade aluminum, so it's really meant to get off-road and last a lifetime.
So with this, they've really got their setup down, pat. They were able to unload it relatively quickly. The thing sets up in about 2 minutes, and we're able to use the picnic tables to be able to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They've really figured out this solution, and from a price standpoint, it's one of the most economical things that you could do to really have a good time, have all your stuff safe, and create a lot of extra space for yourself. One of the things I really love about this setup is that it reminds me of the back of a van, because you have the security aspect of not having any windows so people can't see inside of it. The aluminum construction is solid, and then it's built off a 4x4 chassis, which is incredible. I also like the cabs of modern trucks. They're a lot more comfortable, as a driver, and have a lot more creature comforts around there for you and a passenger compared to something like a Sprinter van.
When we designed the far-out camper, we made sure that we have the nose going over the cab a little bit, and this we use for storage, for our helmets, for our sleeping gear, electric generator. We also found that it really made the unit more aerodynamic, so the wind's going over it instead of hitting it.
One of the intelligent design aspects of this camper is the fact that they have rails on 3 sides so you can mount things like rotopacks and other accessories. And then on top, they have built-in roof racks so you can also put things, whatever you want, to store canoes, mountain bikes. They have a lot of space for additional storage.
One of my favorite features about this camper is that it can be used on a 4x4 chassis. And you get all that space, and you don't even have to go out and purchase a big trailer or a Sprinter van every time. I also love how lightweight it is. You can still take it off-road on all the different kinds of trucks for all the different models we make. And you still can sleep up to a whole family fits in this unit. We sleep 4 people per camper, plus even more if you want.
The advantage of our campers on a pickup truck is that it's a cost-effective way to get a lot of space, a lot of cargo inside the unit, and you're putting onto a pickup truck which can pretty much go anywhere, whether it's a mid-size or a full-size, and you don't have to get into the big expense of a Sprinter van or a camper or a toy hauler. Some of the questions we get asked is how heavy are the units? Even though they're all aluminum and very strong, they're quite lightweight, and so they're able to be put onto half-ton trucks to full-ton, 1-ton trucks, of course mid-size trucks, and they're easily handled by the stock chassis. We offer the far-out campers for all pickup trucks, whether it's a mid-size truck like a Tacoma, a Canyon, a Colorado, or a Jeep Gladiator. Also all the full-size trucks from 5.5, 6.5 to 8-foot pickup trucks.
One of the aspects that impressed me the most was the fit and finish and the overall quality. You can really tell that they paid a lot of attention to the detail to make sure that this is something that's going to last. It's definitely not cheap, it's well thought out, and they continue making running improvements as they learn more and more about how to make these things substantially better. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
We're back to show you a couple of our favorite products that make our lives a little bit easier on and off the trail. Everybody has their preference in tires, but at the end of the day, Dunlop has been making tires since about the same time as the first motorized bicycle became known as a motorcycle, and for about 50 years they've been making motorcycle tires. We've been testing the Geomax Enduros and have found them to be an excellent performer on technical trails where you need every bit of performance. Up next is a little different. I've struggled with camp tables for as long as I've been camping. They're all the same. Every time leaving me wishing I brought a different table. Now I guess somebody from Arcane Warrior must have been hiding in a tree nearby because their landing table is a solution to a lot of the problems I've been having. It brings the best of both worlds by combining a sturdy table frame with a magnetic top modules that let you change the top of your table on a whim. Lastly, I'd like to show you Cascadia 4x4's VSS 2.0 system. The VSS 2.0 system from Cascadia 4x4 packs an additional approximate 100 watts of solar onto the hood of your car. The new 2.0 system revamped how the soft panels attach to your vehicle for an easier and more secure install. They offer their panels with and without a charge controller for dozens of makes and models. We have them on all of our builds, wired to the starter battery, just in case, so we never have to deal with a dead battery. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
Utah is one of our favorite places to go off-roading, and our Ken Fott recently met up with two-time X Games gold medalist Chris Ridgeway to go overlanding in this beautiful state.
Chris and I have been friends for over 20 years, and he's very passionate about wheeling. He lost his lower leg in an accident in 1995, and a few years later took up serious off-roading. On this adventure, we'll be joining him on an 8-day trek across southern Utah. We will be dispersed camping the entire time, meaning we'll be living off the grid without any support. Driving his Ford E250 van is Chris's #1 passion, and he's been to this area over 50 times.
I lost my leg from a motocross injury in 1995 and basically broke both of my legs pretty badly. I was in a wheelchair for a while, and eventually I got my leg removed so I could have a better life. I haven't found very many challenges driving as an amputee. I even raced cars with a stick shift Porsche, and the clutch was no problem. I'm very fortunate that I just lost the lower part of my leg.
Chris, being an amputee has really not slowed him down at all. And in fact, his attitude and his desire to kind of show what he has and what he can do, you would never even know he's an amputee.
Chris has been wheeling for almost 30 years, and the amount of experience that the guy has is incredible. This is his absolute passion. This is what him and his wife like doing. And when his wife doesn't have the time to go with him, he's very comfortable being a solo traveler. So with that, he's had to get himself unstuck out of a lot of precarious situations. So the amount of confidence that it takes to be able to do something like this and know that no matter what happens, you're going to be absolutely fine, it's awe-inspiring.
Off-roading with Chris, when I first met him, I was very surprised how much he didn't notice that the injury would slow him down. And I mean, honestly, I'm impressed. He's, has an upbeat attitude towards life and everything he does.
For this trip, there's going to be several challenges. The first is fuel. We're going to be doing about 275 miles between gas stations, and with our vehicles getting between 8 and 9 miles per gallon, that's going to be tricky.
Having a 4x4 vehicle really changes the ability to get into areas that you normally can't get to in any other vehicle. One of the nights we even camped in the hideout where Butch Cassidy and his gang stayed, and it's not a place you can get to unless you had a 4x4 vehicle.
The advantage to having a trailer on an overland trip is amazing. I mean, you got a place to go if the weather turns bad. I took a shower today. I actually like it because the actual wheeling isn't very difficult for someone that's got a lot of experience. So being able to have the creature comforts and stuff, I really like that.
Chris drives a 1995 E250 Ford van, and he's driven it all across the United States and down to the Baja Peninsula.
In my opinion, there is no better off-road camper than a van, simply because you can get from the front seats to the back. If it's raining outside, you don't have to go outside and set anything up or unload anything. Everything is self-contained. You're out of the weather. You can load the things down. My van's a 3/4 ton, and you can just pack it.
Two things on this trip really stood out for me, and they're both related. The first is watching Mike's progression as a driver. It was really neat to see him get extremely comfortable with his driving, and a lot of that had to do with Chris. Chris is an exceptional driver. He understands this terrain. He has so much experience, and knowing that he helps guide people around really made it a lot more comfortable for both Mike and I.
Yes, there were some stair steps that we did, probably 6 to 7 of them, and we were bouncing up these things, and Mike was getting both his wheels on the truck and the wheels on the trailer were trying to climb at the same time. So it's very difficult to do that. It's very hard on the equipment. So it took a couple times because we were working with the electronics on the truck as well. But I had him back up and had him using his left foot on the brake and preloading with the throttle. So that as soon as he let off the brake, he was accelerating and able to get a little bit of momentum to bounce up the stairs.
Chris calmly stood there, just told me what I needed to do, and we were able to execute.
Yeah, so we had to cross a river yesterday, and I knew it was going to be extremely challenging. I thought the water was going to be much deeper. I've been here before when the water was up, above my 35-inch tires, but this time the water was shallow. However, there was a previous flash flood recently, and it made the embankment so steep that when we brought the truck in, the front bumper smacked the embankment and actually pushed some mud away. And I knew we were in for a challenge after that because of the clearance of the truck and the length of the wheelbase. I knew we were going to high center and we were going to have to winch to get out.
And then when Chris walked up and had a smile and said, you know, here's what we're going to do, I knew it was going to be an exciting part of the trip.
So to recover the vehicle, the first thing that I had Mike do was back up, and my number one thing is when in doubt, throttle out. So first we tried to get him to hit it with some more momentum without breaking the vehicle. That's the worst thing. You don't want to be stuck and broke. So you don't want to go to that limit. But I tried to get him to get some momentum to see if we could push through the mud and make it. And when that didn't work, I pulled my van up with my 10,000-pound Warn winch, and I tried to pull him out, but the truck was buried. So that didn't work. So then PJ had to bring his van around, and we had to actually winch the truck and trailer backwards so that we could access where the problem was, and we dug out. Basically, we made a boat ramp out of the embankment so that we could end up trying to drive the truck up, and we almost made it, and then we just needed a little bit of tug with the winch, and the thing was able to drive out. I think what's enjoyable about being stuck is putting people out of their comfort zone, including myself. I mean, I love being out of my comfort zone. I wasn't too concerned about where we were at when we had to break out the winches and all the straps and everything. However, being in the water, you never kind of know what the surface is underneath it, and I didn't know if the truck was going to start sinking, and if it got buried to its axles, we would have been in a world of trouble. So my ultimate goal is to do tours out here and to bring people out and show them the beauty of Utah and to teach them how to do this.